Hello, it's Aaron Cassover here in July 2015 with the Connected Agent Users Group. And I was talking to an agent a couple weeks ago, and his business is just exploding. He's doing really well. And his story is really unique and really interesting. And it begins a few years ago when he and his family decided to take a kind of a working vacation, a couple weeks off, and they rented a motorhome, and they traveled around the southeast and saw some sights. And every day he would spend a couple hours just following up with prospects, talking to customers, closing sales. He was primarily focused on Medicare Supplement at this time, and he just kind of kept things moving along, as you do, of course. And he got back from this vacation and realized that he was able to keep doing his job on the road. And so he and his family did something interesting. And they packed up their house and they bought a motorhome and hit the road. And they have been on the road full time for several years. He is still selling insurance. And like I said before, business is exploding. He traveled around, saw some national parks, visited different states, saw different cities, saw friends and family, and all along the way, he would meet other people who had done something similar, where they had made their home their motorhome, and they were living kind of in transit. And these people had questions about insurance. They had insurance needs, and they got to asking him questions, and questions that were unique to this market. Questions about what do you do when you don't have a permanent mailing address? What do you do when you don't have a home state? How do you deal with your network, in-network versus out-of-network, when you're always in different locations? And these were questions that he was uniquely able to answer. And so he started answering these questions, and he started selling insurance to these people. And he has become known as the guy you go to if you live out of your motorhome. He's the guy you go to if you have insurance needs. And this is a niche market, but it's not a small market. It turns out that for one agent to really focus on this, he's finding plenty of business here and huge opportunity. And because he's able to specialize in this market that he knows uniquely well, he's able to be very, defensible in his sales approach to this niche market. And that's what I want to talk about today. Today's agenda is about your unique selling position. It's that thing about you, or that thing that you do, the way that you sell, or something else about you that makes you unique, that makes you have a unique proposition, a unique value that you can offer your customers and prospects that nobody else can. And to really fine-tune what that is and position it as a reason why people will buy insurance from you. And so we want to talk today about making your website reflect your unique selling position. Now, it's a little bit hard to do because when you get to be unique, you have to specialize. I like to think of it this way. When you attempt to be known for everything, you don't become known for anything. And we all know this. Just by selling insurance, you're specializing. But you have certain products that you sell. You might focus on long-term care, MedSup, a small subset of insurance. And probably within that, you even focus only on a couple states and a few carriers. So you're already specializing. The trick is to figure out what else it is about you, not just your products and your market or your state, but what is it about you that makes your selling position unique? Now, here are a few questions you can ask yourself about what your unique selling position might be. How are you different from the other options out there? What do you do in your sales process that's different? How do you approach selling insurance differently? If somebody comes and buys from you, What do they get by buying from you specifically? You can think about market focuses. So are you focused on a specific market, a specific region, a specific demographic? And like the motorhome insurance example I talked about, that's a specific market. Do you have background or experience that makes you unique? I know somebody else who is a retired Marine. And once you're a Marine, you're always a Marine. This guy has really created a great niche in selling insurance and financial products to retired military. And he's able to speak the language. He has really fine-tuned his marketing around this and is doing really well because of it. And that's his background. Maybe you're a realtor. Maybe you were a stay-at-home mom before you got into insurance. Maybe you were a teacher. Think about what you did before this, or what experiences you bring that make you uniquely suited to serve your market. So think about these things. Now, a few things that are good, but are not unique selling positions. And these are things that we see everywhere. Free quotes. Now, free quotes are good. Come to me and I'll give you 6 free quotes. That's very transactional. It's not defensible. It's not a reason to buy from you instead of somebody else. You're really selling on price and kind of ease of buying. A list of carriers you represent, while it's important to talk about the carriers you work with, that doesn't make you unique. People aren't going to buy from you instead of somebody else because you have a better list of carriers. Now, there are some exceptions to that. Maybe you represent every single carrier in every single state, and so your unique value proposition is you can go to one stop and get all of the options compared. That might be an example. Unfortunately, having a website is not a unique thing, and especially the more generic websites. I see too many agents try to mimic the big online brokers with, my joke here is free ehealthquotesfastonline.com. Some very anonymous looking website. Websites are good, but ultimately you need to provide the soul that makes your website special. And then just simply saying, I'm your local insurance agent. That's really just a commodity. Of course you are. There's always a local insurance agent, and there's probably more than one. So that's not what makes you unique. So spend some time thinking about what it is that makes you unique, that makes you special, that makes buying from you different than somebody else. And really kind of think about it. It doesn't have to be a lot of things. It can be one thing. And then go and make your website reflect that. So here are 5 things you can do to embed your unique selling position onto your website. The first one is update your homepage introduction. Just simply talk about the market that you sell to, or the experiences that you bring. So when people come to your homepage right away, right there, they see it, they get it. And then from there you can create a custom homepage banner. So if you were selling to people who lived out of motorhomes, you'd probably want to have a picture of people in motorhomes on your homepage. Update your banner to reflect your market. If you sell to retired military, you probably want pictures of people who are in the military or clearly are people from the military on your homepage. So update your custom homepage banner. If you aren't quite sure how to do that, let us know. We can help you out how to do that. The third is to refine the content on your site. Go do a scan of all of the content and look for little ways that you can talk about your unique position on your website. So maybe it's changing the titles of the pages. Maybe you add a sentence or two to the first paragraph, or even just a couple of words. You can really redirect the content to talk about what makes you unique. And if you need to, of course, create new content. So if there's things that you need to talk about to reinforce your value proposition, your unique selling position in more depth, spend the time and create content. Fourth is to add and share blog posts that talk about this unique position. My friend who sells to the retired military, he puts up little bits about military history, Marine history. When there's a Army-Navy football game, he is right there, kind of talking about his thoughts, making jokes. On Marine Day, he goes into the history of the Marines. All these things are not at all related to insurance, but are related to his unique selling position to his market. And so go and use your blog as a way to further communicate your uniqueness. And then finally go and overhaul your About Us page. We give you kind of a stock templated About Us page. It's a fine page. It reflects well in terms of you professionally. It looks good, but it doesn't make you unique. And so go in there and overhaul your About Us page. Tell your personal story. Talk about your history. Talk about why you approach sales that you do. Talk about why you sell insurance. Talk about why you care about your prospects. Talk about why you sell the way that you do. And make your About Us page really reflect what makes you unique. If you do these 5 things, it's not going to completely change your site, but it's going to really focus your site. And it's going to make it speak to your prospects much more. So when they get to your website and they see your site, and then they go to somebody else's site, they're going to want to go back to yours because they're going to feel like you're the one that speaks to them. And that's a really important thing because that will make your prospects want to buy from you instead of somebody else. So that's it for July. That's what we've got right now. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. If you have any questions about creating your unique selling position, if you have questions about doing those 5 things I mentioned to customize your home page, go to the LinkedIn group, ask them there. I can't wait to see what you do with your site, how you sharpen it to better reflect what makes you unique. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.